Merci pour elle. Je pense que c'est très mérité. Un beau moment de cinéma.
Merci.
Alors Antoneta, tu nais à Dubrovnik en Croatie. Très vite, tu es confrontée à la guerre dans les Balkans et tu quittes la Croatie en 1991. Tu vis quelques années en Italie, en Autriche, puis en Allemagne. Tu fais tes études pour devenir comédienne et tu es diplômée de l'Académie des arts dramatiques de Zagreb. Tu pars ensuite étudier à l'Université de Columbia à New York où tu obtiens un master en réalisation. Et là, tu décides de devenir réalisatrice pour, je te cite, raconter tes propres histoires.
Mes propres. Non, pas vraiment seulement mes propres. My stories?
Ouais.
Okay. I don't want to
My
interrupt
own stories. No problem. En 2017, tu réalises ton premier court-métrage, Into the Blue, sélectionné aux Arcs. Oui. Et tu remportes de nombreux prix au Festival de Berlin, Sarajevo, Chicago, Angers et bien d'autres. Et tu te lances alors dans l'écriture et la réalisation de ton premier long-métrage, Murina, que vous avez vu ce soir, en partie produit par Martin Scorsese.
Aussi en les arcs.
Oui, bien sûr. Avec ce film, tu remportes en 2021 la Caméra d'Or à Cannes, qui récompense le meilleur premier film, toutes sections confondues. Donc tu n'es pas présente à Cannes pour recevoir ce prix, car la veille de la cérémonie, tu donnes naissance à ton premier enfant, qui reçoit d'ailleurs une accréditation à vie pour le Festival de Cannes. En 2021, tu es la lauréate du prix Sisley Les Arcs Femmes de Cinéma, apogée de ta carrière, bien sûr. Et on se rappelle tous avec beaucoup d'émotion de ce moment-là. Tu t'en rappelles ?
Oui.
Voilà. Et j'y reviendrai plus tard. Alors, ton film Murina sort en salle dans une semaine, le 20 avril 2022, donc mercredi prochain en salle. Dites-le à tout le monde. Et c'est pour nous un immense honneur, en plus d'être une joie de te recevoir aujourd'hui.
Merci.
Alors, cette rencontre se déroulera en 3 temps. On va d'abord parler de Murina, puis après, on va parler de ton parcours et de ton rapport à l'engagement. Et on gardera bien sûr un petit peu de temps pour, bien sûr, les questions du public. Alors, ma première question est très simple.
I just wanted to say, I sound so different when you read about me. I don't know her. No.
But everything was right.
Yes, everything was right. Except, j'ai vécu à Québec quand j'étais 16 ans, à cette île tout au nord. C'est le point plus long de Québec. Des fois, c'était moins 40 Celsius. Aurora boréale. Et là, j'ai appris français.
Le québécois.
Québécois, oui. Je parle québécois, là.
Tabernacle. Okay. Bon, je pose ma première question.
Oui.
Tu es prête ?
Oui, je suis.
D'accord. Alors, elle est très simple. Elle te vient d'où cette histoire et quelle est la part autobiographique, s'il y en a une ?
Of course. Okay, do you mind if I speak English on this? Okay. So, when I was born, I had 2 grandmothers and 3 great-grandmothers. And a mother, of course. And I spent a lot of the summers on an island. And we were all, set free, wild, able to get ourselves in danger. It was a conflict between outside nature and the physical hormones that were also as dangerous and natural. So I always remember specifically that time because that was the time of resilience and power and innocence. And that's something that I wanted to present in my first film. And then I met Grazia, the actress that you've seen. I worked with her first time when she was 9, and then I did this short film with her. And after that, I realized that she has something very, very special that needs to be captured before she becomes a woman. And I was interested in capturing this delicate moment between a child and crossing over to young woman, but unaware of her power, unaware of her body, unaware of the future and the things that are ahead of her, both good and bad, full of fate. And I think that I could see myself in that young woman. I always jump in a deep water, not knowing what's ahead of me. I have a lot of faith that good things arrive. And I think that that's the singular energy in Murina that is my own.
Alors la murène qui donne son titre au film Murina, c'est un poisson qui n'a pas une très bonne réputation. Et dans
Les femmes.
D'accord. Et dans ce film, tu dis que Julia est la Murina de sa famille. Est-ce que tu peux nous parler un petit peu de la métaphore de ce titre et pourquoi tu l'as choisi comme le titre du film?
Yes. So Murina is an eel. It's an animal that has two sets of jaws, right? First jaw traps, and then second jaw disfigures. And when she's trapped, she's ready to bite her own flesh to free herself. And I really felt that Julia, in this confinement of the family, the isolation of this island, she's ready to sacrifice her own family and even to an extent of sacrificing her own life to be free. Yeah, that is somehow like Murina. And then another thing is also, changing skins as a snake and which power you save yourself with.
Alors tu dis avoir fait ce film pour les adolescents et aussi pour l'adolescente que tu étais quand tu avais 16 ans. Est-ce que tu peux développer un petit peu ça?
I think that this movie is about 16-year-old girl, but it's also about all the other characters that are more children than she is. But this movie for me, I think it is more valuable to women who are 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, to remember the resilience and power they had as a 16-year-old girl. It's for that trapped 16-year-old girl that got her legs cut off as she was arriving towards her goal. That is somehow in all of us, especially women that are raised and live in that societies that are patriarchal, as Croatia and many other countries. I often get incredible response from women from Korea, Turkey, Greece, China, Mediterranean countries. And they say, no one portrayed my father this way, or this is my mother, this was me. But the best compliment for me was when a man in Texas, white man in Texas, over 60, told me that he felt like Julia. That was... that was my audience. But to the other extent, it's also the audience, the people that I've met as well, who are other polarization, other side of this, who tell me, I don't know what his family is about. This is just a regular family and nothing happens in this movie. I made the movie for them.
Murina met en lumière des notions d'emprise et de toxicité intrafamiliale. Il dénonce un système patriarcal dans lequel sont enfermés les personnages. Est-ce que tu dirais que c'est un film féministe?
I don't know what is a feminist film, because when I went to direct this film, I didn't say I'm gonna make a feminist story. I was making a story about Julia and her family. Now, the part of that story, inevitably, it's chauvinism and patriarchy, because it's so palpable and it's omnipotent. It's not something you can avoid. wrongly we call it mentality. It's not mentality, it's violence. And it's very important to call the things by their real name. Mentality is something different. And my intention was not to have engagement about feminism. The film became feminist because it spoke truthfully about the subject that is feminist. So I think it's same as backwards engineering in any other art or film. It can be very tricky and unsuccessful to make a feminist film. Do you know what I mean?
Quelle était la scène la plus difficile que tu as eu à tourner dans ce film? Question suivante.
Non, un moment.
Trop de scènes difficiles ou
This film
pas
was,
assez?
Yeah, this film had a lot of complicated scenes, but for very different reasons. So I'm trying to find the most interesting reason why something was difficult. I think that emotionally for me it was very difficult to shoot the scene in the bedroom, where the entire movie builds up to certain, promise of the better world, that the best is yet to come, and that in life we are faced that that's not how it really works, and that's when you need to, that's when men and women are made. When your biggest goal was a failure and was a lie, how do you resurrect from that? That was very emotional for me to shoot that scene.
Alors il y a une partie importante de l'histoire qui se déroule sous l'eau. Et je pense notamment aux scènes où Yulia va pêcher avec son père. Et on est intrigué, on est parfois angoissé, terrorisé pour Yulia notamment. Qu'est-ce que tu as voulu dire à travers cette métaphore de l'eau? Qu'est-ce que ça apporte au film?
To talk about water, it's important to talk about the land. With the land, I wanted to have a very rough nature without the trees, where characters are burning. This movie could not have happened in interior under the air condition, where you go into the next room, splash your face, come back, nothing happens. Emotions calm. It had to be constantly enhanced in temperature, in sweat, in emotions and impulses that are surfacing. And the water is a completely different state. Underwater, it's like going to the moon. You cannot speak, you cannot breathe, you cannot truly move, and the time slows down. And for me, that was the place of subconscious. Whatever Yulia could not do above the water, she could truly exercise under the water. It is forbidden love or violence, spilling blood, threatening, making choices of forgiving and not revenging. And it was a medium for her. It was her subconscious. And yes, and for me it was a visual tool to create the rhythm to this movie that eventually brings us to some place of spirituality or faith.
Le film a beaucoup de similitudes avec la leçon de piano. Il y a la mer, il y a les hommes violents, le désir, les femmes fortes. Dans quelle mesure est-ce que Jane Campion t'inspire?
More than I know, obviously. It's funny, I met her in December and she asked me about my film. And I said, don't watch it, it's not that good. And she said, never speak of your film that way. Imagine you send your child off to the world and then you scream after him, don't talk to my child, he's not that good. And I thought that was amazing. She's a very good director. I think she gave justice to women when no one did. And she made women that are sexual and sensual and violent and rivals and jealous and passionate and good and bad and artists and mothers. And it's all one woman. Yeah.
On va passer un petit peu à ton parcours et à ton lien à l'engagement. Être une cinéaste, c'est une vocation de toujours ou est-ce qu'il y a eu un déclic à un moment?
No, I never wanted to be director. Really, it was never... I didn't know that women direct movies. Really. I had to leave my country to understand and start directing without knowing that I'm actually directing. I thought like, oh, I'm just replacing you until this director comes because no one wants to direct this movie that I'm doing right now. It was documentary. That I was actually like fell into directing. But you know how it is always in life. You think that you didn't know, but you knew all the way, you know, like connects the dots in the past. So I realized that I was always directing. You know, I would take all 5 kids, 10, 15 from the street when I was 5, and we would put up a show. I would go to their house, take everything that they have in their house, couch, chairs, their mother clothes, makeup. We would bring everything out. I would make the show. Parents were happy and they really hated me at the same time. So I think that directing started that early, you know. But I think that if I haven't arrived to the point where I am now, and if I haven't honored this calling, I would not have been fulfilled person.
Quel est selon toi le rôle du cinéma? Est-ce que tu dirais que faire du cinéma, c'est une forme d'engagement?
That is a very charged question. I don't know if I'm capable to answer it, but I will try. I think that cinema comes... Okay, I know how to answer it. Cinema is a witchcraft. It's exactly like that. Director is a witch. And then you gather people around you. And you take one person's blood, another person's laughter, another person's sweat, another person's tears, joy, and you create a constellation. And you have all these elements. And the very important part is to make them make it as it's the most important thing they need to make in front of death. And when they give you that, then you make a totem, an object of magic, which is a film, a cinema. And as with every magic potion that you give to people, they should change. And so is when they watch the film. It is truly an object of magic. So I think our role is to do exactly that. Start from within ourselves, but with the community of others that are going to make that as if it's their own, create something that will bring everyone else to arrive to that emotional point, step by step, as if they have lived it.
Ça représente quoi d'être lauréate de la Caméra d'Or à Cannes dans une carrière selon toi, et puis par rapport à ce que tu es en train de vivre maintenant? Ça sert à quelque chose?
I can be a little bit funny now. I don't have to be serious anymore. No, it is very, it's the best award one can win. You know, you can only win it once, and you can only compete with it once. So it's emotional. it's not even like a first child, because you can have a second child, but there's no second caméra d'or, you know. But it is very interesting because I don't feel like caméra d'or lauréat, because I only read about me on Instagram. I'm nowhere. I'm at home with my child. So for me, that is something so foreign. I don't have a relation to that as I might have been in some other times. It somehow came in such a potent and important time of my life where it became a second most important thing. But I think that it is very, very, very important for the career, yes. And I hope that it allows me to make my next film the way I want to, and to tell the story I truly want to tell.
Mais en fait, le vrai prix important dans ta vie, c'est Femmes de Cinéma, Sisley. Les arcs.
Absolutely.
Voilà.
Absolutely. Oh my God. No, it's true.
J'ai le droit de dire que tu étais très, très émue?
Ému, c'est quoi? Happy?
Émue.
Sad?
Emotional.
Emotional. Yeah, I was going to say that, not you. No, it was very... actually, it was very important moment in my life. Les Arcs. I'm not joking. This is not like, it's not like to make this moment good because we are in Sisley with Les Arcs. It was very, very important. I basically stepped on stage and I couldn't speak. I spoke through tears, and it's recorded and it's on YouTube if you want to watch it. It was even so obvious that I put it on my Facebook, so everyone can see that now. No, it was the moment when things have settled, and you can see what such a moment in your life means. And in Les Arcs, I was within a family. Really. We met very long time ago, and I was very small, like this.
Like that.
And I could open up, and there's very few people who are... you're very alone in your country to celebrate success, because that is something that can rarely be forgiven. So I felt that I really need to come to France, to Les Arcs, to celebrate it. And it was very important for me, so thank you. And thank you, Sisley, Les Arcs. It's true. It's true, I'm making little jokes, but it is really like that.
Bon, je vais faire une dernière question parce que je me suis aperçu que le temps passait très très vite. Et puis il faut que je vous laisse peut-être en poser. Justement, derrière Femmes de Cinéma, est-ce que dans ton parcours, tu as eu le sentiment que c'était plus dur d'être une femme? Est-ce que tu t'es senti empêchée, ou au contraire, est-ce que ça t'a donné plus de courage? Est-ce que ça t'a poussé pour avancer?
Because I'm a woman. It is very interesting. I think that I discovered my own feminism very late in life, because somebody is watching the movie. Pas problème. I think that I discovered feminism very late in life, because I grew up with mother who is an incredible artist, and so many strong women in my family, that I never felt I need to say I'm a feminist. It was natural state, But then I said, these things never happened to me. I don't know. These things just don't happen to certain women. These things don't happen. And then I got on set, and everything I said that doesn't happen to me exactly happened to me. And I became a very strong feminist. I understood how I was both lucky and in the same time blind, and how it is very important to speak up these things, because otherwise, you know, they just go undercover. So I hope it's not longer hard to be a woman in film. I really hope that this is behind us and that next year we are not going to talk about it anymore, you know? Yeah, I hope. So I can hope. I have a lot of faith. But what is important is not the quotas of the festivals and of distribution, of all the quotas that are imposed now on the cinema. That was very good at the time, but the only quota that women need is an opportunity to make the equal amount of number of films as men or more, with the same amount of money or more. And then the film will speak for itself. Because otherwise you come into the situation where your colleague, as it has happened to me, said, listen, if I was a woman, my film would won Camera d'Or. And it would be in Cannes. And I don't know what to say about it. I really believe that films speak for themselves. I don't like to believe that we had, a seat for a woman and a seat for a man and seat for this person or that person that is minority here or seat for minority there. Minorities don't need seats. They just need the equal opportunity to create art, same as everyone else has been doing for 100 years. That's it.
Vivement l'année prochaine. Vivement l'année prochaine. Can't wait to see next year. Because next year everything is going to be fine, you said.
Yeah.
You hoped.
I will lobby.
I will too. Alors à vous, est-ce que vous avez des questions dans la salle? Je te regardais.
So congratulations on your film. I was just wondering, since it's a very personal first film, and you do have Martin Scorsese as one of the producers, what was your journey into funding this film and making it happen?
Let me just say, the film is not personal. Yeah, it is personal in elements. How did I find it? I have to disappoint you. I had a very boring story, really easy. Seriously, I finished my short film. I presented it in Berlin in February, and in May I got my feature financed that did not have a script yet. It was a company that came on board that really loved so much the short that they trusted that what I'm going to write for a feature film is going to be as good. And I started developing the feature film once it was already financed, based on just a letter of intention and some very vague treatment. I'm sorry. I wanted to make a big story, but I can't lie. But I am very aware how hard it is to finance the movies, and everyone should have this experience with their first film that I had.
I think it's a cool story. Oui.
Il y a un grand rapport à l'eau dans votre film, mais aussi à la lumière. Il y a beaucoup de séquences très sombres, dans la pénombre, très engagées, très, très nouvelles dans la façon de montrer. Comment ça s'est dealé dans les faits? Et je voulais savoir si votre DOP était une femme ou un homme, et comment vous avez dealé tout ça dans le cadre du tournage.
My cinematographer was the best cinematographer of our time. She's a woman and she's French, Hélène Louvard. And she's very, very good. She's a very good woman. She can make very complicated things very simple. And only through simple way we can tell complex emotions. And that's the main reason why she's so great. She had not an easy job because we shot in the summer in the location that was losing light very fast because it was between the two mountains. And she worked only with natural light outside. So we had to plan all the scenes depending on the day, hour of the day. So we had a clock by every scene number at what time is exactly happening because we couldn't shoot them in continuity for that particular reason. So the scenes were spread out across to be able to fit this daylight. The dark scenes, yes, it's not because we couldn't light them like that, you know. It was, yes, it was the choice to enhance the danger and this womb that she was in to birth herself.
D'autres questions?
You asked everything. What do you expect people to say?
Bah, tant mieux, bah, peut-être qu'on peut s'arrêter là et puis se retrouver ou continuer peut-être à parler ensemble. Je voulais remercier Elise parce qu'elle nous a beaucoup aidé à écrire ces questions. Voilà, elle travaille pour le lab. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Et merci à vous tous. Merci beaucoup Antoneta.
Merci Guillaume. Merci Sisley. Lazare, Lisa.